Hey there, and welcome to the very first episode of the Fusion Flow podcast. I'm Erica, and I am so honored that you're here with me today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Like, no matter how much you try to move forward, something from your past keeps tugging you back. Maybe it's a relationship that left you feeling broken, or a pattern you keep repeating that you just can't seem to shake. If you're nodding along or feeling that little tug in your chest right now, I want you to know you are not alone. I've been there too. And this podcast, this is your space, a space for healing, growth, and transformation. Now, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a transformational coach, a breathwork facilitator, and someone who has walked the path of deep personal healing. I'm also a mom of 6 amazing kiddos and a grandmother to 1 beautiful granddaughter, with 2 more on the way. My life is full and it's far from perfect, but it's mine. And I've learned that healing isn't about erasing the past, it's about learning how to carry it differently. This podcast is for anyone who's ready to reclaim their inner peace, break free from old patterns, and step into the wholeness they deserve. My goal is for this to feel like a conversation with a close friend, someone who gets it, who's been there, and who's here to walk this path with you. In this first episode, I want to share my personal story with you, the struggles I faced, the lessons I've learned, and how I turned my pain into purpose. My hope is that my journey inspires you to see that no matter where you are right now, transformation is possible. So whether you're tuning in while driving, walking, or just taking a moment for yourself, thank you for being here. Let's dive in. I wasn't always the person you see today, a confident coach, mother, grandmother. For years, I've struggled in an abusive relationship that left me feeling powerless, broken, and disconnected from myself. When I finally left that relationship, I thought I was free. I thought, this is it. My life is going to be better now. But what I didn't realize was that I had carried all of the pain, self-doubt, and fear with me. It didn't just vanish because I walked away. I want you to imagine this. It's a quiet evening, and I'm sitting on my couch. The lights are dim, and the only sound in the house is the faint hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. My kids are asleep, and the silence feels deafening. I'm holding my phone in my hand, staring at it, waiting for a text from someone who I knew wasn't good for me. My heart is racing, and I feel this knot in my stomach, a mix of anxiety and hope. I put the phone down and bury my face in my hands. Tears start streaming down my face, and I feel this overwhelming sense of loneliness. Not just loneliness because I was physically alone, but loneliness because I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I had spent so much time trying to please others, trying to be what I thought they wanted me to be. And I had lost sight of who I really was. Have you ever felt that way? Like you're surrounded by people, but you feel invisible? Like no one really sees you for who you are? Or maybe you don't even see yourself anymore. That moment on the couch was my breaking point. I remember thinking, how did I get here? How did I become this person who's constantly chasing love and validation? And then, almost as if a voice inside me spoke up, I heard it. I heard, it must change. I must change it. I can change it. That was the moment I decided to take my life back. The first step on my journey was discovering NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I remember sitting in my first NLP training session, and it felt like a light bulb turned on in my mind. I started to see how my thoughts and beliefs had been shaping my reality. I realized that the stories I had been telling myself, I'm not good enough, I'll never find love, I'm too broken to be happy, were just that, stories. And I had the power to rewrite them. From there, I dove into hypnosis, and it was like peeling back layers of my soul. I uncovered wounds I didn't even know I had. I had finally started to release the pain I had been carrying for so long. Then came breathwork. Oh, breathwork. I'll never forget the first time I truly let myself surrender to the process. I was lying on the floor, eyes closed, breathing deeply, and suddenly, it was like this wave of emotion washed over me. I felt years of tension, anger, and sadness leave my body. It was as if my breath was saying, "It's okay to let go. You don't have to carry this anymore." And then there was Tantra. Tantra taught me how to embrace my wholeness. Not just the parts of me that I thought were acceptable, but all of me. It showed me how to create deeper, more authentic connections with myself and others. These tools, NLP, hypnosis, breathwork, mindfulness, and Tantra, became my lifeline. They helped me rediscover my power, my voice, my worth. And over the past 7 years as a coach, I've had the privilege of using these same tools to help others break free from their own cycles of pain and rediscover their power. But let me tell you, the journey hasn't been perfect. Healing isn't a straight line. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and sometimes it feels like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But every single step is worth it. So as you're listening to my story, I want you to reflect on something. What's one pattern in your life you've been repeating? How has that pattern made you feel? And most importantly, what would your life look like if you could break free from it? My journey hasn't been perfect, and it's far from over. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that healing is possible. You don't have to stay stuck in the pain of your past. You can create a life that feels whole, peaceful, and aligned with who you truly are. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together on this podcast, because if I can do it, I know you can too. So why this podcast? And what can you expect as we go on our journey together? Here's the thing. I know I'm not alone in this. So many of us are carrying wounds from the past, whether it's the pain of a broken relationship, childhood trauma, or the pressures of trying to be everything for everyone. This podcast exists because I believe healing is possible for all of us, no matter where you're starting from. Each week, we're going to dive into topics that I know will resonate with you because they've resonated with me and the incredible clients I've worked with over the years. I'll share practical tools, inspiring stories, and guided practices to help you on your journey to wholeness. Let me give you a little preview of what's coming up. In our next episode, we're going to talk about the aftermath of trauma, why you feel stuck, and how to start moving forward. If you've ever felt like you're spinning your wheels, like no matter what you do, you can't seem to move past the pain or fear, this is the episode for you. We'll explore why trauma can leave us feeling stuck, and I'll share practical steps to help you start breaking free. We'll also talk about breaking free from limiting beliefs, the stories we tell ourselves that keep us stuck. Things like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never find love," or "It's too late for me to change." Together we'll unpack where these beliefs come from and how to rewrite them so they no longer hold you back. Another episode will focus on healing your inner child. That's the part of you that is still carrying wounds from the past, maybe from a parent who was emotionally unavailable, or a time when you felt unseen or unheard. I'll guide you through a process to reconnect with and nurture that part of yourself so you can move forward with more compassion and confidence. And of course, we'll dive into relationships. Because let's be honest, relationships are one of the biggest areas where our wounds show up. Whether you're single, dating, or in a committed partnership, we'll talk about how to build sacred, authentic connections with yourself and others. But this podcast isn't just about listening, it's about doing. I'll be sharing practical exercises, journaling prompts, and mindfulness techniques that you can use in your everyday life. For example, I might guide you through a short breathwork session to help you release tension or ask you to reflect on a question like, what do I really want in this season of my life? So as you're listening to this podcast, I want you to ask yourself, what do you need right now in this season of your life? What's one thing you're ready to let go of? And what's one small step you can take today to move closer to the life you truly want? My hope is that this podcast becomes a part of your weekly routine, a space where you can pause, reflect, and reconnect with yourself. Whether you're tuning in while driving, walking, or just taking a moment to breathe, my goal is for you to leave each episode feeling seen, supported, and inspired to take action. Before we wrap up this episode, I want to invite you to connect with me. This podcast is just the beginning of the conversation, and I'd love to hear from you. If something I shared today resonated with you, or if there's a topic you'd love me to cover in the future episodes, reach out. You can find me on Instagram at mindfusioncoach. You can also email me at erica@mind-fusion.com. And here's a little favor I'd like to ask. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your feedback helps me create content that truly serves you, and it also helps other people find this podcast and join our community. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Remember, healing is a process, but you are so much stronger than you realize, and you don't have to do it alone. I'll see you next week for our first deep dive into healing after trauma. Until then, take care of yourself and keep flowing forward.
Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It means more than you know. Remember, healing isn't a straight line. It's a sacred, imperfect journey. But you're not walking it alone. If this episode spoke to you, please take a moment to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need it. You showing up here creates a ripple of healing far beyond what you can see. I'll see you next week for our first deep dive into healing after trauma. Until then, take care of yourself and keep flowing forward.